Hello, welcome back. How's it going? It's Alex back again with another campfire story. Today's story is about the ghoul. Ooh, how creepy. But before we get into all the spooky stuff, let's get that campfire, shall we? There we go. One day I will upgrade that, but not today. And voila! There we go, we're all set, and let's get back into the good stuff, shall we? I would like to preface this first real quick. You guys know from my previous videos, and if you don't, I'm letting you know now, that I am horrible with pronunciation. And today's story deals with some Arabic names and some religious aspects, and I did my best with research and stuff, so I will try my hardest to say things correctly. If I do say anything wrong, please let me know. Please let me know. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about ghouls. Ghouls are an old legend in Arabic mythology. They belong to a class of jinn and were said to be the offspring of Iblis, the Prince of Darkness in Islam. For those who don't know, jinn are shape-shifting creatures that are made up of fire and air. They have the ability to take on human form as well as animals, and they are neither good nor evil, and are a part of the physical and spiritual world. Ghouls are known for luring people into the desert wastes and other abandoned places and eating them. They were also said to prey on young children, steal coins, drink blood, and even eat those who are already dead. They were also able to change their form, but they were usually easily recognizable by their unchangeable feature of hooves. Ghouls were not very discussed in Europe. That was until Anton Galland translated the Thousand and One Nights, also known as the Arabian Nights. Although the text brought a bunch of Arabian culture to Europe, the text was not very accurate due to his loose translation of the stories. This had a very big impact on how Europeans kind of perceived ghouls. Anton's version introduced the idea that ghouls hung around in graves and ate the flesh of the dead. So that kind of aspect of him came from Anton's version, not the original scripts. Arabian depictions of the ghoul are slightly different to that of the European depictions. Some of the differences were that the Arabian ghoul was seen as more animal-like. They were hairy, almost wolf-like or hyena-like. A lone hyena would travel alone and lure people to basically the middle of nowhere, and the rest of the pack would come out and they would devour the person. They were also known to take on human form with hoofed feet. The obvious signs of a ghoul nearby was hoof footprints, and if you saw a humanoid figure in the distance that scurried away on all fours, that was a big sign that that was probably a ghoul. Even though they could walk on two legs, they preferred walking on all fours. European ghouls were similar in that they had a wolf-like face and hooves, but their skin was pale and rubbery. They were also sensitive to light, but not like vampires. To a ghoul, light would cause them a bunch of pain, but it would never actually kill them. These ghouls were also able to shapeshift, but their shapeshifting abilities were far greater than the earlier ghouls. Some stories mention that they were able to take on the form of their last victim, whether or not they were dead or alive. They were also able to steal the memories of a human if they consumed the brains in doing so, and they would actually blend in with the rest of society. and some of them actually were so good that people didn't have any idea that they were ghouls. One of the original stories that I found from the 1001 Nights was, and this one wasn't really tampered too much by Anton Galland, was the history of Garib and his brother Agib. Garib is sent on a quest in order to get the hand of his love, Medea? Sorry, I have no idea. During his quest, he runs into a ghoul named Sedan. He needs to defeat him before he can continue on with his quest. He defeats the ghoul and his sons and converts both of them to Islam. Another story named The Nameless Offspring by Clark Ashton Smith. Clark Ashton Smith. In 1932, this short story was more inspired by the European version of the ghoul with the white blubbery skin. This story kind of brought up an interesting theory on how ghouls reproduced. They actually mated with humans that were mistakenly buried alive, and the offspring would look like a ghoul and not a hybrid of the two, so a human and a ghoul. It would just become a ghoul. One more story that I found was called Pickman's Model. It was written by H.P. Lovecraft. This story was about an artist who was obsessed with both the stories and the idea of ghouls. The story vividly describes the insane paintings that he made of these creatures. In the end of the story, it kind of suggests that Pickman was more than just a human and perhaps a changeling. It was insinuated that that was actually how ghouls reproduced. They abducted children and replaced them with their own. The child looked human, but was far from it. The story kind of indicated the ghouls did this to freshen up their bloodline every once in a while. Well, that's kind of all I have for today. I hope you guys have as much fun as I did. If you guys have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys all in the next video, and as always, be good. If you can't be good, be safe. If you can't be safe, be awesome. Bye.